So today, we decided to take a little break from what we've been filming and take you guys on a little lunch break with us. So we're gonna go to Revive Cafe, super cute spot, super good food, and just a little fun fact, reality happens. This is actually our second time filming this because the first time we filmed it, it somehow got deleted. So we are gonna go back. We are bearing gifts for our good friends Dan and Sophia at Revive Cafe. We've got George here with us. Pastor Bob is really busy today. Pastor Jonathan's really busy today. So Pastor Bob told us to just go do this on our own. So we're gonna go do that.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh, it is really dirty, I know. Here, wait. Oh no, I got a better idea. I got a good idea. What does it look like?
So what's your favorite episode this far?
In this season?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like them all. Wow, that is a loud car. I think my favorite episode has been, I think episode 2. Episode 2 was where I talked about 4 different gifts, you know, and I kind of used the protein powder as a prop.
Right.
Yeah, I liked that one. I don't know, I kind of liked them all. Definitely the friendship one is the hardest one for me because everything that I've been learning and sharing, I've been learning it, you know, at the same time and just sharing it kind of while I'm going through the process, especially the friendship one. So I think that one's a really good episode and I think about the episode a lot, but it's definitely not the most like feel good
It's
one.
like, I love that one.
Yeah.
It hurts good.
It hurts good, exactly.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's like spiritual exercise.
Right.
Yeah, what's been your favorite episode?
Probably the protein.
Oh, so episode 2.
Yeah.
What's your favorite episode?
Leave it down in the comments.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we got our stuff for them, and
What do you have?
what do I have? I have just a little flyer about God Thing TV, some stickers, some Word of Life mugs, and we got some t-shirts. And we also have some honey from our church's orchard. So let's go inside.
Nope.
See this?
Coffee roaster.
So this is actually just a computer screen and we use it when we're roasting to be able to display the data. So we added these are temperature probes. They measure both the environmental temperature and the inside the probe, and then these measure the bean mass as it's tumbling around. So you're able to track the changes in temperature to really accurately monitor what's going on with the beans. And then with the software, you're able to watch it and then also save a profile. And that way you can replicate that profile and have really consistent coffee. And also have like specific things you can go back and analyze when you're cupping and tasting the coffee to go back and maybe make some tweaks on it.
Oh my gosh.
So it's it takes
Dan the coffee
takes
roasting
it next
man.
level.
Dan the coffee roaster.
We got some new coffees coming in on Friday. We're really
Super
excited
cool.
about.
I'll have to
Super
come
cool.
back. I'm actually out of coffee at my house. So it gives me a really good reason to come in here and buy a bag of beans.
Over on this other side, you'll see there's like this little gauge right here. This is a water column gauge for the gas, and so we have a gas control on the propane line. So this enables. It's a throttle valve, which really it's a needle valve. It enables us to really fine tune the flame height. So kind of like on your gas stove, you have one you can really adjust the flame height when you're cooking. Same thing. Before it was just on a thermostat and it was wide open or off, and so now we can really like dial it in to simmer at like a certain temperature or bump it up and then bring it back down.
Wow.
And this is the airflow, so this opens a valve to let air in or out of the drone while you're roasting too, so it's cool off faster or hold heat better. So, yeah.
Wow, impressive. So I'm excited to try
The
it.
process of shining it up, this brass jacket is A little tarnished, but it's just a little elbow grease to get trimmed up. But the front's all clean. Good petite.
Yeah.
Yum. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cute cup. All right. George, will you mind? All right, George. Cheers. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's the farm toast breakfast sandwich with, it's an everything bagel, arugula, right? That's what that green is. Fig jam and eggs, some prosciutto and goat cheese. And this is, I think you can only get this here. I haven't found another place in Tuolumne County where you can get this sandwich. So you gotta come here and get it. But we just asked Sophia what she thought about motivation, because we are in this season talking about motivation. How do you stay motivated in Christ and to just do the right thing, all sorts of things. So I just kind of put her on the hot seat and we're gonna see what she has to say.
Yeah, motivation, like what keeps you motivated? I think motivation is an interesting thing, and I don't know if I have like a solid, like definitive answer on how I feel about motivation, because I feel like things that keep you motivated aren't necessarily long term, where like habits or priorities or really like yearnings are kind of more of like a long term sustaining factor, because some people will be motivated, like let's just go into the diet. You know, some people are motivated because they have a wedding and they want to do a certain diet, and it's not like a long-term motivation, whereas like there are passions and there are people that really like, I think, stir something up in us, and I don't know that it would be in the same category as motivation, but I don't know what to call it.
I think so. Like inspiration, kind of.
Yeah, it's something I think a little bit deeper. But for us, it's really just trying to get into the core of like the why, and for us, it's our relationships, because we're supposed to love God and love people. We're supposed to love our neighbor, and so getting into like what does that look like? What does that mean? And we kind of try to feed everything through that, and that motivates us the most. Because if we're not loving people well, everything else isn't going to be as good. It might seem good. It might look good, but everything we try to do is how is this helping us love people, and we try to find those opportunities first, and try to humble ourselves when we realize we're not hitting the mark, and go, you know what, but there's grace in that.
Yeah.
So we really try to take a day where we're like off and really just focus on our family, because we know that that's our like highest priority and our calling, and I think it could be different for everybody.
That's actually something we haven't talked about on this season yet, is like the Sabbath or rest, you know, and how that is so important. If you're going to maintain like our walk with God, you know, and continually pushing and loving people when it might be hard, or you know, all those things, taking that rest day is, I think, super important, because you can get burned out, you know, on the list is never ending of like what you could do and accomplish. But we don't do anything on that day. We turn off our phones if we can. We try to spend time outside on that day, as which we love to hike, and not everybody might be as outdoorsy, but we really find rest in going outside, or connecting with family that we haven't seen in a long time. So that's really important. And then too, trying to have like a shut off time before we go to bed. That one we struggle with more. Me too, for sure. But that's like a practical thing. But then having people in our life older than us that like kind of guide us or that inspire us is really helpful in staying motivated. It's changed. We've had people where we lived before that we stay in touch with, but there's couples we've met here that are just going after God and opening their homes and being generous and loving on younger people or babies, that we're like, hey, that's inspiring us, and we want to do the same thing. And they're not as fixated on like checking the right boxes in our culture of making sure you have these things, and they might have some of those things lined up, like retirement, but they all seem to be trying to dedicate their time to loving on people and
sacrificing maybe some of their comforts in order to pursue loving people. So.
And you go to like a home church, right? Like
Yeah.
kind of small. How's that going? Do you
It's
love
awesome.
it?
Yeah, it's been like a variable every Sunday. This month we were hosting it here the last 2 months, but it's at somebody else's house this month.
Nice.
But it's awesome. It's grown a little bit. We have been able to minister to some homeless people that are in the community. We've been able to have like single parents come in with their kids, and they don't always stay, but we encourage them to have community somewhere. If it's not here, like there are other great churches or places that we could do that.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool. That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about motivation. That's really good about the whole resting day and having those places that kind of rejuvenate you and people that rejuvenate you. So if you guys are ever going to be in Tuolumne County, and then you have Instagram.
Yes.
Could you tell?
Yes, it's revivecafe.co, and we have Facebook. I think it's still just at Revive Cafe. I don't know why that did transfer over, but at Revive Cafe for Facebook, at revivecafe.co for Instagram.
And then you have a website?
We don't have a website yet, but it's coming.
Cool.
So stay tuned, because
Yeah.
we have some big things coming.
It's not the same without Pastor Bob. It's just not.
No.
Just me eating. So we're concluding our time here at Revive Cafe. We got to go back to work, but we had a good time. You had a good time, right, George?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and Sophia is super sweet. Dan is super awesome, very knowledgeable about coffee, and they just love the community and they love pouring back into it, which is something that we love so much. So we definitely want to just say thank you to Dan and Sophia again for the wonderful food, wonderful coffee, wonderful conversation, and check them out. You just really gotta come. Yeah. So let's go back to church.
Yes.